Good morning, everyone. I am happy to do this video for you guys today. It's basically the advice from everyone in my little community group here and their advice and tips for being on keto, what helped them or is helping them get through tricky situations. And I was going through them, and I have a couple of my own, and what's funny is I was thinking like, oh my gosh, I should do a talk on lavender as well, just because it's so good for our bodies and part of keto and detoxing as well. So lavender, although it does smell amazing, oh, I love it. So I'll just put this in front of the windows in my house, and after I cut it, and I get wafts of lavender. But a lot of us somewhat know about lavender, and part of it is that it helps kind of calm you down and it's good for sleeping. That's pretty common, but what people don't realize is there's actually a lot of other purposes for it too, especially that I thought goes really nicely along with keto is it really helps for basically detoxing and inflammation. Lavender essential oil, or even lavender, putting it in your bath, or even just keeping it on your house or applying it to your body, is extremely helpful and healthy. Now, lavender is actually a natural painkiller, if you didn't know that. It actually does a lot more than that, too. You can look it up. I probably should have done that. I just didn't think about it. But it will heal things quicker. Like, it's crazy. If you have a bruise and you start putting lavender on it every day, it'll heal in about half the time. Like, it's insane. I actually, a couple of years ago, for one of my friend's bachelorette parties, she wanted to go to Silverwood, which is our theme park, water park thing. And I was getting out of a ride, and I was trying not to bump into my friend, and I was in my swimsuit, and I cut open like a big, huge gash on my IT band. Oh, that hurt so bad. And while it was healing, it would itch like crazy. And I was just starting to get into essential oils, and someone mentioned to me, like, have you tried putting lavender on it? I'm like, no. And they're like, well, that helps with itching. I'm like, really? So I started putting lavender on, and I literally could not sleep at night if I didn't put the lavender on it. It would take the itch away immediately. And it was super bad, like deep purple, like it was a bad one. And I'd had it for a couple days, and it just wasn't even changing. And then as soon as I started putting the oil on it, it just started getting better and better every day, and it started to look amazing. I couldn't believe how well that really helped. So incorporating different things like this, keto, besides food, learning about, hey, Sydney, bring that here. Come here. Come. Drop it. She's got my shoe. Come here. Okay. Somebody found my shoe. Yeah, okay. So just looking into things like that, essential oils and Epsom salt baths are awesome for sore, achy muscles, or when your body's detoxing, you can just feel kind of achy because things are leaving your muscles. That's where things are stored. So taking an Epsom salt bath or something is actually extremely helpful. So that's just that right there. Now I was just going to share some of the comments and the things of advice that other people are sharing for keto. Staying away from the scale, using your body to measure, because if you start working out or doing things, especially being a male, you're going to put on muscle easier. So as you're losing weight, you could also be putting on muscle. So if you're reading the scale and after a couple weeks, it's not seeming to move, but you're doing all the right things, then sometimes you're just swapping out muscle. Other times your body's holding on to fluid and it's not ready to let go, but it doesn't mean that you're not losing weight. So like me playing a volleyball tournament, every weekend when I get done, I am up 5 pounds, and it's just me holding on to fluid, but I'm still losing weight and getting smaller, and I'm eating healthy. So, I'm burning so many calories in the sand or in doubles that I am getting a big workout and I'm burning a ton of calories. So I have to remember to not look at the scale, to pay attention to my clothes. They're looser, I feel better, different things like this. So watch out for that scale. A lot of people have trouble with the scale. Cravings after eating bars. Well, a lot of times when we're eating things with like artificial sweeteners, or you're doing even like stevia or something, your body is used to getting sugar and it knows what that does and it likes it and it's expecting sugar. But when it doesn't get the sugar, it's still the cravings there. It's still waiting for that sugar that you normally gave it. So when you're doing, and then also if you're doing a lot of stevia and stuff, that's sweeter than even regular sugar. So if you're doing that and then you're eating like an egg, your body's going to like that sugary taste. So sometimes those cravings they're a lot harder to put to bed because you're eating so much sugar that your body's not liking the other food that you're eating. So if you're having trouble with that, a lot of times I'll just push through something. I'll just have to do 3 days of absolutely no sweets whatsoever. Nothing sweet, just all savory food. Just not adding anything with sugar in there. And then after about 3 days, I'm back to normal again. And it's hard. It's a little bit of a detox. You'll crave sugar and stuff. But if you don't give in to those cravings, it's not that you're not going to crave it. You will crave it, but ignoring it for a little while, you will get back to normal and then you'll feel fine again. So try that. Do not get too hungry. That's been a huge one. And keeping variety. If you let yourself get too hungry, you're more likely to overeat. It's not saying that you can't be hungry a little bit, but don't let yourself get to the point where you're starving. Try to avoid that. Adding in some low-carb treats and breads can help people. So a lot of times, if you're used to eating junk foods or treats, keto treats can help you feel like you get to splurge a little bit without going overboard or getting out of keto. So that was a really good advice. Making sure you're getting enough water, and on the day where you're extra hungry, getting the fats up, even if you're over calories a little bit. It's just going to make you feel full. It's not going to give you cravings, and you're more likely to stay on track with what you're doing. When you're hungry, lots and lots of veggies during a meal or in between meals for snacking and filling your gut with fiber is going to feel really good. And then also remember, with more food, also on keto, you'll start to find that you need a lot less food and that you're actually losing weight. And as you lose weight, you're not going to need as much food. So keep that in mind, that stop and think about your portions. Like I said before, serve yourself about half of what you think you need, and then you can always go back for more. And that way it feels more natural to clear your plate. And then last but not least, the last one that I really read that was on my thing said, drinking a little bit of water before a meal. Letting that settle into your stomach so that really, really empty feeling starts to get a little bit more full. So as you start to eat your food, you're going to feel full rather than hungry. So it'll help you stop. So that was great advice from everyone. Thank you guys for putting all that stuff down, and I hope this helps other people. And feel free to comment again below and add more advice if you're just catching on.